35 million people suffer needlessly from undiagnosed sleep disorders. A simple and painless test can be administered by the professional staff at Cibolo Sleep, right here in Bernie. This test can start you on the road to a good night's sleep. By monitoring your brain waves, breathing patterns, heart, and muscle activity throughout the night, they are able to analyze the data to determine your sleep problems. I'd like to welcome Dr. Ryan to Discover Bernie. Thank you, Doctor, for joining us.
Thank you.
Doctor, could you tell me what your specialty is, please?
I'm a pulmonary medicine physician,
Okay.
and I have a particular interest in sleep disorders as well.
What exactly is a sleep disorder?
The most common sleep disorder that we see is sleep apnea.
Now, which is the one that makes you snore all night? Because last night my husband decided that that's what he was going to do all night long. So which one is that?
That's most likely obstructive sleep apnea.
Okay.
And that is very common in our society.
So how can I tell if he has a sleep disorder? Is it just by the snoring?
And snoring is largely a social problem. It's the apnea or not breathing that is the medical problem.
So if he's snoring, he's breathing?
That's correct.
Okay. So how can you tell? So if they stop snoring, then they have the apnea problem?
The usual pattern that you see in somebody with obstructive sleep apnea will be somebody who is snoring, and then they'll change into a sort of a gasping type, fish out of water type of breathing pattern.
Okay.
And then to be significant, the apnea needs to be a 10-second duration. And at that point, frequently you'll get a loud snorting type snore, where the
Okay.
individual breaks the apnea, and then the whole process starts over again. And we actually allow up to 20 apnea spells a night as not being of clinical significance. But many of these people will have 300 and 500 episodes a night
Oh my goodness.
of not breathing.
Okay.
And of course what happens along with the not breathing is that your oxygen level in your blood drops, and your brain rhythms, your brain pattern becomes completely disturbed, and that then causes all sorts of difficulty functioning during the daytime.
Okay. Now, what exactly is a sleep study?
A sleep study is usually a 1 or 2 night monitoring test where you come to a sleep center, are connected up to a lot of different type of monitoring systems. The brain waves are monitored, the electrical activity in the muscles is monitored, the heart rhythm, the breathing patterns, the eye movements, the oxygen level in the blood. And from this you can determine the type of sleep disorder the person is suffering from.
Okay. In other words, you can probably tell when they're not breathing and breathing.
Correct.
Monitor when their legs are moving. Okay, so now you've gone through this test, which, does it hurt to have this test?
No, I mean you come to the sleep lab, the electrodes are attached, there are no needles, it's a non-invasive type test.
Okay.
And with Cibolo Sleep, the studies are performed in a very nice environment here at the Kendall Inn, a much better environment to get a more restful night's sleep.
Well, and they can bring their partner, and then the sleep partner can go sleep someplace else, right?
No, I think the studies can be done with the sleep partner.
I'll go sleep today.
That's okay.
It's okay. Now, in Bernie, we can come to Kendall Inn, which is a very beautiful and comfortable place to have our sleep study, which will probably help in your sleeping. After I've taken my test, then what happens?
Now, I'm actually very excited about working with the Cibolo Sleep at the Kendall Inn, because in the past I've been involved with sleep labs that have been in somewhat unsavory strip shopping malls, clinical environments, even sort of located in warehouse districts,
Oh, lovely.
which are not very conducive to a good restful night's sleep. So I think this is a very exciting development in sleep disorders, and really at a sort of a leading edge of the science, that Cibolo Sleep is doing full state-of-the-art sleep studies here at the Kendall Inn. So I think it's a very exciting development in sleep disorder testing. What happens, the process is that the sleep study will be done, and it usually takes one night. Sometimes a second night may be required to determine additional elements of the person's sleep disorder. It takes several days to process all of the data that has been developed, and then the report is sent to the doctor, who will then meet with the patient, go over the results, and prescribe the appropriate type of treatment at that point.
Okay, so you actually, your doctor refers you, you take the test, and you go back to your doctor again to talk about all the results.
And have whatever treatment is appropriate.
Great. Thank you very much for joining us, Doctor.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back with more Discover Bernie.